So welcome back to the 25th Malta Open, live from the Eden Super Bowl in St George's Bay, Malta. Into squad 15, the last squad of the tournament. And it's squeaky bum time for a lot of the players as they're trying to break into the top 28, which at the moment stands at come on, internet, speed up, speed up, speed up. Go, 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 go. I don't think it's been updated yet. It's still at 25, 25. Yep. No, not updated yet. Sorry to Dave Harmon, who's been trying to get in touch with me on Facebook. I've not really been looking at Facebook too much. Well, at all. So welcome back. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTemping.net. Hello. Probably with you till the end now. Super hot in Malta this week. Just had a walk down to the beach with my wife and little one. And it's, what time is it now? It's kind of 5 o'clock-ish and still hot. Damn hot. Damn hot. Right, so on your featured pair now, we've got Biet Grauweiler from Switzerland, Jerry de Graaf, I believe from Netherlands, is he? Maurizio Anastasi from Malta, and Sarah Zureb, also from Malta. And then on the right side, we've got Mika Gerler, Hilde Monson, Richard Beck, and Damir Branizak. Keep your comment and chat coming in. Want to pose any questions, have a little discussion, kind of keep everything interesting, you feel free to do so. Just the 6 games to go now to end qualifying, and we'll get a look at the top 28. We've got Desperado, the exciting one-game shootout. TV's Lee Chatfield on 145 in the 7th, down on 7 and 8. Jod van Weeren, spare strike, spare 5-bagger. Jod's chasing a bye. He didn't make it in the last squad, but he's trying again this one. So he's stuck another 140 euros into the pot just to get a couple of buys. Hope it's worth it. I guess if you've got the money, why not spend it? Richard Beck on 151 in the 8th. Mika Gerler on 153 in the 9th. Damir Branizak looks like he's going okay, 125 in the 7th with a strike working. But Jod van Weeren looks the pick of the players down this end of the house. we'll have some scores in about 5 minutes' time after this first game. Anastase is going to finish with a 2:26 first game. He's chasing the number. I'm sure when Morrow's in the field at the minute. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's 11th at the minute with 26.52. He's obviously chasing the bye. Well, he's in the top 12 at the minute. So I don't know. He must be worried. Dave Harmon just saying, what let you sign in? What let you chat on YouTube unless you sign into your YouTube account? So if you've not got a YouTube account, just make one, and then you can come in and chat. It won't take too long to make an account, whether you use it or not. Mika. Thanks again, Dom, for your jolly good commentary. I don't know if it's been jolly good. I'll try. I've not done as much, really, this time. Saving it all for tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting day. At least we know Starfish is pretty much in there. And he pulled it out just when he needed to. The 2:46 for Yard fan Wearing. Is it Wearing or Wearing? Uh, 2:02 for TV's Lee Chatfield. You may remember him from pop videos and TV shows in the UK. $191 for Richard Beck. 162 for Mika Gerler. Damir Branizak's going to finish with a 195 if he gets another 2 strikes. Dennis Machia can strike out for a 214. Rankin Camilleri finishes with 205 from Malta. literally a frame or two away from the end of this game, and we'll have some scores in about 5 minutes' time. You know, I always say that, and it's usually more than that. But not wanting to tempt fate, but I'm going to anyway. The stream's been pretty solid today. It's stayed on. So everybody just moving around now. Richard Beck, Damir Bronizak, Lee Chatfield and Dennis Machia on 9 and 10. And on 11 and 12 it looks like Hild Amundsen, Richard Beck's on the 9 and 10, isn't he? Sarah Zeb, Maurizio Anastasi. And I'm not sure of the fourth player yet. We'll see when the scores go up. Keep your comments and chat coming in. If you haven't got a YouTube account, just knock one up, make one. Come on, do a bit of chatting. Say hello, tell us where you're from. Tell us where you'd like to be. So Maurizio Anastasi, Sarah Zureb, Dan Balsam and Diego. I'm not sure Diego's second name. Giotto. Diego Giotto. It's a silent G in it. G-H-I-O-T-T-O. Giotto. Got scores, Richie. Danquignon, 2 pages this one. I don't think we'll bother with second page there. So Jord van Weeren from the Netherlands leads with a 246, followed by Frank Selvag, Funtime Frankie, on a 242. Mark York with a 237. In fourth place, Kenneth Harper with 236. Jerry DeGraff with 226, Rankin Camilleri with 225, Selwyn Morgan with 215, Mauro Anastasi with 215, Glenn Richardson with 204, and Fred Pott bringing up the top 10 with 203. I could do it on the PDA, so couldn't I? TV's Lee Chatfield 202, Dennis Machia 202, Philip Grupecha 199, Michael Krenz 196, Paul Gray 194, Damir Branizak 194, Dom Buckley 191, Richard Beck 191, Hilda Munson 182, and 190 with the ladies bonus. Mark Muscat 189, Ian Alexander 189, Mark Secker 188. Sarah Zereb, 180, 188 with ladies bonus. Gary Sykes, 187, Ryan Lakey, 186, Dan Balsam, 171, Sammy Borg 170. Mika Gerler 162. Diego Ghetto 161. Everybody's Lambus 142. Biet Grawaila 142. And bringing up the rear in 32nd place is Moritz Wierach with 125. Okay, welcome to the 25th Malta Open live from the Eden Super Bowl in St. George's Bay. Into game 2. Alright then, we're going to do it in Scouse accent now. Lee Chatfield on the striking a 9. He's going for a spare. Richie Beck on a double. And Dami Branizak on a double. Dennis Machir on a strike as well. What do you see that lad? Right, Wax, what should we do next? Who's Scottish? Right then. Murray Anastasi on a 9 spare. Sarah Zureb on a strike. Diego on a strike, and Dan Bolson on a 9 spare. Looks like he wants some chips. Some fish and chips later. What's next? Irish then. Alright then, to be sure, Mark Muscat on a striking a 9 spare. That's not Irish, is it? It's more like Liverpudlian. Yeah, just stick to your own, Dom. Can't do accents. But we could come from Birmingham. Alright. You're right. Gonna get a double here. Yeah, TV's Lee Chatfield leaves a 10-pin. Chaz picks up his single pin. Richard Beck, front 3. Rolling back the years to when he was a Yak player. And he was quite good then.
You know that baby?
Huh?
You know that baby?
What baby?
He's standing now 6th place. And the 5th place now is a woman, the same, they have the same, but the woman has handicap, bonus point. But then the woman needs to be on the 6th and he has to stretch on the 5th.
Let's have a look. What position? There's no woman in 6th.
That's not the new one yet, no.
We have the same, 27.
It goes on the last game scratch then, doesn't it? Whoever's got the highest last game is on scratch, I think, is the one that would be the higher. I think, I don't know, you'd have to check with Neil.
I should really study the rules sometimes, but do you know what? Can't be bothered. I like learning with everybody else. Simon Shepherd's in the house. Are you watching today, Simon? I know we've been on YouTube all the time. I kind of want to go on to Facebook. I'd rather live stream to Facebook. I think we'll get more people watching if it's on Facebook. YouTube's getting a bit old now, isn't it? You go watch it for like a few, there's plenty of stuff on there, but most people seem to be doing live streams and stuff through Facebook or Periscope. Woohoo! Numbers are going up. Quite a few watching now. All sat at home going, who's this guy on the commentary? Have you just joined us? You're watching the 25th Malta Open live from the Eden Super Bowl in St George's Bay, Malta. We're into the last squad of qualifying and game 2 out of 6. And we'll have a rough idea of who the top 28 is going to be by the end of the block. And then there's going to be a mad rush for people to decide whether they're going to play the Desperado, the €20. I think it's €20. Is it €20 for the Desperado? Is it more? Is it €50 or something stupid? I don't know. How many?
I'm thinking 30.
20 or €30, yeah, one game. And then you have a chance. 4 people will go through on the Desperado. 4 through on the Turbo. And I think we've got a pretty long day. I think we start at 8 o'clock in the morning for the final round 1. But you know what? Rather than speculate, let's have a look at the rules. Format. So qualifying round, regular qualification will be over 12 games, series of 2 6 games. 6-game re-entries, unlimited, subject to availability. Will be possible in order to replace the lower of the initial 2 series, providing the re-entry score is higher than said initial series. You need a degree to start working out what happens with these. If not, the initial series total will be retained. The highest of the initial 2 series must be retained for the qualification total. Re-entry reservations will be taken on a first-come, first-service basis, with waiting lists made when necessary. Do you know, I liked it better when it was just a straight 6 games, best player wins. Yeah, Desperado's 30 quid, €30. Cheers, Richie. Any game turbo is a bowler's high game, including ladies bonus, within any 6-game series. For all 12 initial qualifying games to be included, 2 any game turbo entries will be required. 1 of each 6 games. I can't even be bothered reading that, let alone thinking about what it means. Desperado, I know that one. 1 game, top 4 make it. I like that. That's a bit more easy. So qualification, 36 bowlers will qualify for the final stages as follows. 28 bowlers go through from the general standings. Positions 1 to 6 will automatically go through to final stage 3. 7 to 12 will automatically go through to final stage 2. Positions 13 to 28 will continue in final stage 1. Any game turbos, the top 4 turbo bowlers will qualify in positions 29 to 32 for final stage 1. And the Desperado, the top 4 will qualify in positions 33 to 36 for final stage 1. So then tomorrow morning, 24 bowlers. Positions 13 to 36 will play 4 games from scratch, and the top 12 will go through to final stage 2. Non-qualifiers will be ranked 25th to 36th accordingly. Final stage 2, 18 bowlers, qualifying positions 7 to 12 plus 12 from the final stage 1, will play 4 games from scratch. Top 10 will go through to the final stage 3. Non-qualifiers from this stage will be ranked 17th to 24th accordingly. So final stage 3, top 16 will play 2-game knockouts for total pinfall, including any bonuses. The top 6 bowlers from the qualifying round will be seeded 1st to 6th for this stage, while the 10 qualifiers from final stage 2 shall be seeded 7th to 16th. And then non-qualifiers at this stage will be ranked 9th to 16th. So basically one plays 16th, second plays 15th, third plays 14th, that kind of thing. Final stage 4 quarterfinals. 8 winning bowlers from final stage 3 will be reseeded 1st to 8th according to their previous seeding, and play further 2-game knockout matches for total pinfall. The losing quarterfinalists will be ranked 5th to 8th. And the semis, 4 bowlers, final 2 bowlers. You get the gist. This will do blue. I think the sun there has got to you, Dom. Hey, it's not the sun, mate. I've always been a little bit tapped. It's fun because you don't know what's happening next. It's halfway through this second game. It's not the easiest thing to do is waffle on about bowling for God knows how long. I nearly said and try and make it interesting, but I'm like Marmite. So featured pairs, Richard Beck on 116 in the 6th with a strike on the board in the 6th. Damir Branizak with 127 with a spare working. TV's Lee Chatfield, 115 in the 6th with a... 115 in the 6th, yeah. Dennis Machia, 87 in the 5th. Maurizio Anastasi on 119 in the 6th with a double working. Sadar Zareb with 106 in the 6th, also with a double working. Diego Kyoto 103 in the 5th, and Dan Balsam 89 in the 5th but with a strike working. Further afield, not much to report about as yet. So come on, make it interesting, folks. Let's pose some questions, have a bit more chat there. Keep me alive, keep me fresh. Give me something to talk about, because we'll end up talking about something wild otherwise. Your predictions of what you've seen so far, who do you think's going to win? Looking at the scores, have you seen any players that you think got a good shot, good shape? And another question, who do you think is going to win the Weber Cup this year? Bit of a shake-up and a mix-up. We're at Manchester this year and not Barnsley. The tickets you got to pay for. And pretty much an all-change American side, bar Wes, Big Wes and Parker. 2 new players in Marshall Kent and the one and only Kyle Troop. Kind of excited to see Kyle. Hoping he's got his American loudmouth trousers and he's going to wear American flag trousers. That'd be pretty awesome. I can't see the whole team wearing them, but I can certainly see Kyle wearing them. And then the shock really was a change to the European side. Osku being dropped and Jesper Svensson being brought in. Now, I don't know, if you're Osku, you're going to be a bit upset with that, but at the same time, you've got to be looking at, well, Svensson's just hot at the moment. He's kind of deserves his shot this year. And who do you drop? It's in England, so Don Barrett were never going to get dropped. Stu was borderline, I think, when it comes down to it. It could well have been down to a toss-up between Stu and and Oscu. Martin, I think, was safe. He's obviously not got the wins that some of those other boys have got, but he's never lost on the European side. And he's also one of the most liked players in the crowd. The crowd really warmed to him, considering he's a Swede in England. It's going to be an interesting tournament, I think. What do you all think? TV's Lee Chatfield, 165 in the 9th with a double working. Richie Beck, 184 in the 8th. Young Sarah Zareb, strike, 9 spare, 8 miss, 4 bagger. She's down on 11 and 12, just to the right of your screen. As we watch Dan Balsam come through the face, leave a single pin. Coming up to the end of this second game, a couple of frames. 3 frames on 11 and 12 still to go. And just the 1 frame on a lot of the others. So we're about 10 minutes away from some scores after 2. So nobody got any comments on the Weber Cup then? Just happy for it to happen? What do you think of the paying for tickets this year? For what it's worth, I think it's progression myself. It's always difficult to charge for something that was free before, but 16 years of getting it for free, I think we got value. I think it's time to support the event if you want to see it continue and grow. It's not a money-making scheme, that's for sure. Matchroom, they don't really make a profit on it. It breaks even overall, and I think the crux of it basically is the Matchroom have got a deal with Sky for a certain amount of coverage for whatever sports, and obviously they fill it mostly with pool and darts and snooker and the other sports. I think they've got fishing in their stable as well at Matchroom, that kind of thing. But bowling makes up the shortfall of extra hours. So the Weber Cup covers a sizable amount for one weekend. And look at it this way. I mean, of all the sports that Barry Hearn at Matchroom could have picked, he picked 10-pin bowling. You've got to thank him for that. And for 16 years, he's kept with it. Despite it not really taking off, it's got better, but it's not really, you know. You don't get most sports fans going, oh, I can't wait for Weber Cup, that bowling tournament's awesome. But it is pretty cool. Live again this year. It's only the 3rd time it's been live. The first time it was live, it went through to 1 o'clock in the morning. We kept with it, and it was really exciting, right down to the final game. Last year, not so. Europeans just rolled right over the Americans. And to be honest, I don't care if you're listening or not, America, you were shocking last year. You were embarrassing, and you deserved to get dropped, some of you. put on your country's shirt, you spit blood, or you don't bother. It's one or the other. But they just didn't look like they were in it last year. Granted, the Europeans were good, but for 4 professional bowlers all their lives, nah, they were shocking. The only one that really tried was Parker. And Wes to a degree. Tommy and Bill I thought were awful. But having said that, Tommy, great Weber Cup player over the years. A lot of 300s. Well liked in England, and for good reason. Great bloke. Just Hart didn't seem to be in it last year for whatever reason. And they've paid with it where their places. Richard Beck finishes with 224. Lee Chatfield with 202. Another question concerning the Weber Cup of the players they could have picked for the American team. Which players would you have liked to have seen? I know Pete Webber comes up in that list now and again. He's played it a couple of times. Norm Duke always features in people's wants. I get all a little bit quiet on the chat. It's making me feel uneasy. If you've just joined us though, you're watching the 25th Malta Open. It's not the Weber Cup we're talking about, it's the Malta Open. Just kind of making small talk for a bit, just to stay awake. 195 for Dennis Machir on that featured pair in front of us. 202 Lee Chatfield and 224 Richard Beck. Damir Branazak from Switzerland, just finishing up with a 236, no 235. And on the right side of the featured pairs, Maurizio Anastasi is going to finish with a potential 237 if he strikes out. Sarah Zareb can finish with 221 if she strikes out. Robbie Mudge, what about senior or super senior Weber Cup? Yeah, I was just thinking about that a minute ago, Rob, and I was going to mention it, and then I thought, we couldn't compete. What's the point? I mean, you know, you can name a few great European players that are of senior age, but would they get wasted on against the Americans? They sure would. Because who are the Americans going to put up? They're going to put up Weber, Norm Duke, probably Ron, what's his name? Ron Moore, and another. You couldn't beat him. You'd have to get Chris Van Dam out of retirement. You'd have to hope that like Timu Ratikainen and all those are still playing. You won't be in the same league. The European women have got maybe a shot against the Americans, but even then I think it'd be tough for the European women to beat a strong American side. I just can't see a European side beating an American side. Robert Mudge, I don't mind getting thrashed. It's not much of entertainment though, is it, if it's a bit one-sided. Not saying it's a bad idea. It's not. I mean, I'd like to see a junior Weber Cup, an adult Weber Cup, a senior Weber Cup, a women's Weber Cup. It'd be awesome. But I can't see it happening somehow. I'd like to see the Weber Cup maybe turn into a three-way with the rest of the world as well. That would be quite cool, because then we'll get Belmo in and some of the Asian players and Middle East. I think that would be interesting. And obviously in the Far East and the Middle East, it's massive, is bowling. So I'm sure some rich sheikh could quite easily have Matchroom go over to Dubai or whatever and have a three-way. There has been some talk about things like that, but who knows how it will progress in the future. There is still a chance that there will be a home and away with it going to America at some point. I would love to see the Americans embrace the Weather Cup a little bit more. I don't think they give it the time of day that they should. Last couple of years, they've not really mentioned it too much on the PBA website. And if they do that again this year, I'm going to be a little bit upset. In fact, I'm going to have a word with Tom Clark this year that they ought to be getting behind it. It's America against Europe. It's, you know, it's as close to the Ryder Cup as you're going to get. It's kind of what it was designed on. Now then, looks like everybody's finished this game. We'll have some scores for you in a couple of minutes' time. What game is this? This is now game 3 we're going into. Susan? We'll have some scores for you in a moment. I'm just waiting for them to get printed out. I know Cass Edwards, who does the commentary for the Weather Cup, he wants to see the World Temping Masters come back, which was a great event also by Matchroom, but that really was an expensive tournament, especially at first when like 16 players from around the world all descended on Barnsley. That can't have been cheap, shipping all those players over. And although it always said it was 16 of the world's best, it was 16 world good players, but it wasn't the world's 16 best players. They were all good, don't get me wrong. But the world ranking Masters was the one that kind of covered the same kind of thing. The top players from each zone, effectively, in a tournament. So I don't think we'll see the World Temping Masters come back. Sorry, Cass. But never say never. We're into game 3 now, and we've got the featured pair of Diego Giotto, Dan Balsam, Mark Muscat, and Kenneth Harper. Dominic Buckley, Frank Selvag, Lee Chatfield, and Dennis Machia. Just getting some scores. Yeah, there you go, back to Weber Cup for last time. What's going to happen if England or Britain vote themselves out of Europe? Is Don Barrett and Stu Williams going to get to play? Or are we not in Europe? We can't be a part of Team Europe if we're not in Europe, can we? So if you want Don Barrett and Stu Williams to be in the Weber Cup, vote stay. But that would be interesting if those two players have to drop. You're going to have to start bringing some more players in. Thank you, sir. All right, Gary Sykes is the new leader after a 2:56 second game, 187 first game. But as always, this last block, everybody chasing the score is not particularly high. 4:43 leading after 2:21 average. Jord van Weeren from the Netherlands, 4:41. Jerry de Graaf, 4:40. Glenn Richardson from England after a 2:34 second game, 4:38. Philip Grappetta from Malta, 4:35. Damir Branizak, 4:29. Kenneth Harper in 7th, 4:20. Moro Anastasi from Malta in 8th with 4.18. Richard Beck 4.15 in 9th. And Ryan Lake in 10th with 4.13. So, an American watching there going, wow, these scores are crap. So, what did you say? Where we're looking for? Mark Secker down in 23rd. 390 over at first two. Suzanne, 188, 202. TV's Lee Chatfield, consistent on 202, 202, 404. I'm just going to take a short break for a few moments. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go away. Oh, before I go though, Rob Mudge says, seen a lot of solid 710 leaves. Are the pins harder this year? Twisters, plastic pins, Rob. They just went in last week. And from what I've been noticing about them, if you hit them quite fast, you don't leave too many 710s. But if you're a, I don't know, 13, 14 mile an hour player, there seems to be quite a few 710s. A lot of corner pins as always. I don't think there's been a massive difference. To look at them, the actual scores are down, but that's not a bad thing really here because the scores were ridiculous for the last few years. 250 averages all over the place. Oh, nearly a 5-7-10 mixer. Oh, you get some wicked pin action there sometimes. Messengers look cool. I always like a good messenger. I'm like, Yahoo! Messenger! Right, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. Enjoy the show. All right, we're back at the 25th Malta Open live. And we're into game 3. And halfway through it. Featured pair, Mark Muscat on 89 in the 4th, 89 in the 4th for Kenneth Harper. 68 in the 4th and 55. Diego and Dan respectively. 279 pace for Dom Buckley. Frank Selvag's dropped out. 242, 168, and then he's gone strike, 7 miss, 8 miss. And he's Teddy's out the pram, I think, he's come off. Keep your comments and chat coming in. My name's Dom Gall from talktemping.net. Please check out the website. Glenn Richardson, the left-hander from England, 8-1, 9 spare, 5 bagger. Starting to find something. Don Barrett adds another one. Don Buckley. .279 pace, double 9 spare Turkey. So if you missed the scores after 2, Gary Sykes is leading with 187, 256, 443, followed by Jord van Weering with 441, and in third place Jerry de Graaf with 440. So as I said earlier, not particularly high for this one. I'll keep my eye open for Simon Shepherd, because I want to have a word with him. I want to see if we can stream to Facebook tomorrow instead of streaming to YouTube. I think we'll get better hits if we stream to Facebook. Never done it though. Interesting to see what it's like. Glenn Richardson up on the approach now. Leaves a sleeper after a string of 5 in a row. Don Buckley looking good. Adds another one. Double 9 spare 4 bagger. Wearing a Ferrum Outcast t-shirt. And the news now is the presentation is going to be held in the bowling centre, so that we can have it all together and the kids can be there as part of the show, as they have been throughout the tournament. And then it's all over to the casino to blow some credits, and maybe somebody wins big. Come on, Neil, let's have a quick chat. It's not often we get you on, if ever. So I'm joined by tournament manager Neil Dent.
Evening all.
How's it going this year, Neil?
Is it still afternoon or is it evening yet?
I don't know, it all blends in at the same time, doesn't it, really?
Afternoon,
Just stick it out there, yeah, cool.
Okay.
Happy with how it's turned out this year so far?
Everything's fantastic so far, not a single hitch.
A man with a face for radio. Let's get a selfie while we're at it.
Yeah, go on.
Webby. Get Webby to take it. Take a photo. It might be the first time you ever get two handsome guys together. I wasn't going to take one of you.
You're taking one of us,
no,
you
you're taking one of us.
lunatic.
Go on, we'll take one of you anyway. Hang on, I better take it off continuous shooting. It'll take like 15 shots of him, and that's not a good thing. What about the flash? Stick it on. There you go. Let's get one of both of us, Neil, please. Oh yeah, get the professional guy to take one with a compact. Nearly blinded us. Okay. Take another one. There we go.
he's used to much more.
He's used to
he's
professional
used to much more
cameras.
jazzy
He's looking at it
cameras
going,
than
what the
that
hell's this little thing?
What's this? You're taking the mic.
So 25 years, Neil.
Yeah, number
You get
25.
less for murder, don't you, on
Yeah,
a
you do.
tournament?
You do.
And how many have you actually done?
Um,
What did you come in at?
I started working here part-time in March, April '93. So I missed the first one completely, and I worked from the second one onwards.
Right.
And I've been general manager since 2000. Well, taking over since 2001. So what does that make this one? My 17th or my 16th? That's GM.
16th, isn't it?
16th. My 16th is GM. Yeah. So yeah, went through a bit of a rough patch. Luckily, it's bouncing back over the past few years. Some good help from some nice people out there, and it's good again. It's a really good event.
People drop in and drop out, don't they? There seems to be a steady flow of new people that try it, and then
Yes.
a few have a few years off, and then they come back again for a couple of years. And
Yes, that's true. We've always got the stalwarts who come back year after year, and we always get a good, as you're saying, a good mix of new faces, first timers, and they invariably come back, which is brilliant.
it would have been nice in the 25th to have had everybody back, though, wouldn't it? I was surprised when we got 99. I thought, oh, well, maybe we're going to get 150 this year or something, purely because of the romance of, I played Malta once.
It's a romantic idea, but it was never really going to happen, you know. Thinking back to all those people who, some of them aren't even in the bowling scene anymore, you know.
No, true.
So it would have been good. It would have been nice, but I think it was a dream too far.
And some big names have come through here over the years before they became big names.
Oh yeah,
effectively.
oh yeah.
You Don Barrett's, who
Don
else?
Barrett, Stu Williams, Belmo.
Martin Larson.
Larson's been a few times. Yeah, he's won it. Ex-champion. Oh yeah, we've had some good players.
Who's been the best player that you've ever seen play here? Who could you hand on that and say, that's the best player I've ever seen?
When you've had people like Dom Barrett coming through here, you know, I mean, the talent on the guy is just incredible. It's fantastic. I can't not mention Big Chris Van Dam because he's just an institution over here.
Won it 3 times, didn't he?
Yeah, he's won the seniors event. He's won this a couple of times as well, and you get these people become your friends. So it's not just who's the best bowler.
It's
it's easy to mention the best ones.
You don't want to upset all your friends effectively by mentioning any one of them.
For sure. But we've had some fantastic performances. I mean, yesterday to have the first ever back-to-back 300 by Bjorn Ritzhagen was just incredible.
Yeah.
Never seen it here before. Obviously, it's something which is
And it took plastic pins to get that.
extremely rare. Yeah,
Effectively, all those years of wooden pins, and it took plastic pins to get it. What are they?
Bracelets for tomorrow.
Ah, bracelets, cool.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Now just coming up to the end of this game.
Who's I've been paying attention. Who's doing well?
Nobody really. Gary Sykes is leading with a 221 average, 443 after the first 2. It's always the same in this last squad. They all chase that score, but then it's not a particularly high block.
Yeah.
Because it's all the ones that haven't made it into the tournament proper so far.
Yeah.
They've not played well, and they're expecting to do it in the last squad. So it's kind of up and down, really. Squeaky bum time, I think they call it.
There's also a couple of these guys who are thinking about the turbo. They thought, I'll have another go, but I'm probably with the turbo anyway. There's a few of them borderline turbos. There's also probably a couple of them who just want to keep their hand in and keep warm for the Despo.
There's 1 or 2 of them have been chasing buys. I know Jord van Weeren's played a couple of squads where he's already qualified, sort of thing. Frank had a go at it and then gave up. It must be nice to throw 70 euros at each squad just to get an extra 2 places.
Yeah.
And sponsor this year, a good sponsor at that.
Oh yeah, fantastic collaboration from.
Yeah, you must have been buzzing when they gave you the. What's the potential?
Well, the potential total, because the gifts and prizes that they gave us were tied to attendance, because we've been giving €50 casino token from Casino Malta to every participant. And also we had the €100 squad prizes, as you know, and then we've had they've given us a whole bunch of tokens for the top 36 qualifiers. The top 36, the cash list. So yeah, potentially it could have been in the region of €15,000.
which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. End of the day, it's worked on a bit less than that because we didn't have the numbers. We've got 99 people in. But yeah, I mean, loads of people enjoy going to the casino anyway, so they're just an added bonus, you know. And when they get a kid like, I don't know, Justin Caruana Shakluna, he won 2 squads. It's 200 euros, you know. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you should make something off the back of that.
Oh, yeah, you can go down there and make some money. So that's brilliant, fantastic.
So not even the winner this year could come out with 20 grand from the casino if they play the cards right.
It actually has been known. It has been known, not the winners, but last year there was one of the guys was in one of the casinos and he did rather well.
He won big.
He did rather well, yeah.
How do they view big winners in casinos in Malta? They're like most casinos; they don't really want you to win.
Well, they're not really. Well, it's all calculated, isn't it? It's you know, there's a guaranteed return in any casino, really. I suppose. I don't profess to being a
I'm no
player
genius
myself
on it
at
now.
all, but you know, it's a calculated risk. For every 20 grand they lose, they're getting back probably 40 or 50 grand. So you know.
Yeah, the bookie never loses, really, are they?
The bookies never lose. Never see a poor bookie, that's for sure.
No, true. And what happens for you this week? You get a bit of a holiday after. It's a hard week for you. You're in
tough.
Right at the beginning to right at the end. It's double shifts for the whole week. Have you got a bit of family time next week?
We love it. I managed to get Tuesday off just this past week, and I'm off again hopefully on Wednesday. So and then the weekend off. But what I'm going to do is I've got a holiday booked in mid-July. So that's something I look forward to. It's only 5 days away, but that's going to be good.
When you live in a place like Malta, where is a holiday?
Anywhere it's not hot.
You go somewhere cool.
Yeah, I'm off to Germany actually, Bonn and Cologne.
Ah, cool.
I'm going to see some of my guitar idols playing over.
Who are you seeing?
It's called the G3 tour. It's one of my favourites from the practice music we have on here, called Joe Satriani, who I've already seen, and Steve Vai, who is my absolute idol in the guitar world. And they'll be accompanied as well by a group called. Yeah, I forgot what they're called now.
Not a big band then.
If you'd asked me, I would have told you straight away. Anyway, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to see Satriani and Vai, so taking the family along as well, so that's nice.
And how does am I upsetting you if I call you a Geordie? You know,
not at all. No. I'm Northumbrian, actually.
Northumbrian. How does a Northumbrian end up in Malta?
Holiday romance. I always say I came across by mistake in 1989 because my brother was supposed to come with a mutual friend of ours on holiday. He couldn't make it in the end, so I came. Long story short, met my wife, who's a Maltese girl, and moved over here in 1991. And that was that.
It's all worked out great. 2 great kids, and
yeah, worked out fine.
And you're still married after all these years?
25 years in. Everything's 25 years this year.
Wow.
Everything's 25 years.
Yeah, congratulations on that. What's that? 25 years? Is that silver? Yeah, that's cool. And she must be pretty cool. She just lets you do your thing with this, doesn't she?
She just lets me get on with it, yeah.
She bowl at all? Ever?
Never.
Never?
No. If she does, she always says if she comes bowling, she wants the bumpers.
Do you make her pay for it as well?
No. Wouldn't be that cool.
And the kids, have they ever been interested in actually playing it?
Nope, none of us.
I thought Jamie might have done.
No, not at all. Even when his friends, it's weird. Even when his friends suggest coming. Maybe it's because I'm here.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Even when his friends suggest coming over or whatever. I mean, they had parties here when they were kids and were invited to parties here, you know. So that was fine. But no, I mean, not even myself. I've never bowled either.
Never bowled? That's funny, that, isn't it? You can be into bowling, but not actually into bowling.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I obviously took a big interest in the sport when I started working here, and then ended up running the place. And my absolute favourite things are these tournaments.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's nice to get everybody over and experience Malta. It's a beautiful island, isn't it? There's a lot to do. It's not exactly expensive or anything.
No, it's not
fairly cheap to get here, and when you eat and drink out there, it's not that bad.
No, it's not expensive
compared to some places. I mean, you can spend money here if you want to.
Oh yeah, you can pay
nice places.
You can pay a lot for a good meal and whatever over here, but largely speaking, it's cheaper than I'll say the most of the Western European destinations.
It's picked up a lot since the recession then.
Well, that one didn't really affect us.
No.
It kind of washed over us. I mean, I think joining the European Union in 2003, becoming members in 2003, was a big help, because then, sure enough, a few years later, there was the international recession. But we, as a tiny island nation, and a stable island nation as well, we just rode it. We got through it. We had a good administration at the time, and we just got through.
Didn't it affect the tourism that much?
Apparently not. I mean, they basically report increases year on year, including during the recession time.
Wow.
You know,
Buck the trend then. Yeah, I used to come when I was a youngster in that early 1980s, when the buses were buses.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Leylands and
dusty roads and smoky buses and.
I've still got dusty roads and smoky buses.
Have they still got some of the old ones on? I've seen a couple of them go down there that have been done up.
Only as tourist attractions, really.
Are they, yeah.
Taking people out, and you can hire them for wedding parties and stuff like
Didn't
that.
they bring the Chinese buses in, and then everybody
the
complained
Chinese
a little
ones,
bit?
And they bought a whole boatload of Boris Johnson's bendy buses from London. The ones that the Londoners didn't want. We bought them on the cheap, and they were a disaster, so we got rid of them.
Was it just going to cost too much to kind of keep those buses running in the end? Because it's part of Malta, wasn't it? A Malta bus was, part of the attraction of the place.
Got to be honest, they were horrible things. I mean, the tourists loved them because they were ancient, old, largely obviously British, like Leyland and whatever, Plaxton, whatever they were. Buses. Literally, we had some on the roads from like the 1930s,
wow.
1940s. And they were still actual.
What, like being in Cuba?
Yeah, yes, similar. Yes, similar. And they were actually actual daily route buses, and the tourists loved them. All well and good, because obviously tourism is massively important to us. But if you had to use those on a daily basis, I mean, they were dire. They were really bad.
Did you reckon?
Yeah. Horrible things.
Yeah, there was no aircon in them. You had the windows wide open, and then I got
no
smoke
aircon.
from there.
There was no air conditioning at all in those things. And if you got a full bus in the middle of August, middle of the day,
that's what we loved about it. And like you say, the tourists loved it because it was kind of like something different, really.
Yeah.
And I miss the buses a little bit. It's nice to see the ones that have been done up driving around. And there's still a lot of old cars on the island still. You see the odd Ford Zephyr and things like that.
Yeah, still quite a few. We're seeing less and less these days, but I mean, old Triumph Heralds, Mark I Escorts, old ancient Cortinas. There's one around where I live. It's the old.
A Ford?
No, that's a Herald as well. It's Triumph Herald, but it's the old estate one.
All right,
the
yeah.
estate with a folded back roof.
Yeah.
And it's in tip-top condition. It's always in the garage, mind you. Only takes out on a Sunday.
Yeah, I like seeing some of the really old cars. You don't see them that often.
Yeah.
And predictions. Watched everybody this year and got a rough idea of what's going on. Who do you think's going to win from what you've seen so far?
Well, the ones who are up there really deserve to be there. Pleased to see local girl Sua Bell up amongst it. I think she's fifth at the moment before this squad.
Yeah.
She had a good session earlier on today, so she's doing well. You never rule her out, but of course some of these guys are just so powerful. They're just so strong.
I guess in the 25th year it'd be nice to see a Maltese winner.
Well, you've got Justin Caruana Shakluna, Sue's son. He's doing well. He's second at the moment before this squad, I think.
Yeah, Sullivan's in there, and Arthur's usually up there at the end.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think it's all about probably Bjorn and Ramon, though. You're gonna have to beat them to win it.
Exactly. Those are the ones to watch. They've both got history, obviously. Bjorn came second last year when Ramon won it, of course. Ramon came second before.
Yeah,
Ramon came second twice.
Second twice and then won it.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. So everybody, they're the ones to be watching. But as you know, there can always be a surprise.
True enough. Yeah. And we always get 300. Usually always, and we've had 2 in a row this year, so there's every chance we'll get another one yet.
Yeah, it's early days. There's still a lot of games to be played. So,
and the machines have held up really well.
Yeah.
I think we had one little fault on 14, which kind of delayed things a little bit, but that's kind of not seen much this week. It's
the paddle broke, so just about 10 minutes to.
The paddle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a funny thing to go.
About 10 minutes to fix that.
Yeah.
You got my guys are tipped up. You know.
Going to say, I've got a couple of good guys there, haven't you? And how busy is the centre generally throughout the season?
Really good. I mean, it is a seasonal thing. You know, summer's different to winter, and we do an awful lot of stuff with students who come here in the summer to learn English. We work with the schools. You know, we have a brilliant initiative in the summer months, July, August, September, which we're going into the third year now, which we call Free Summer Bowling, and that is basically we've got about 3,000 kids registered, local kids registered. For the scheme, and we actually send them free bowling vouchers. They can come Monday to Friday, every single Monday to Friday if they want to, and play three games of bowling, absolutely free, no strings attached.
That's pretty cool.
And it makes for a noisy and a busy summer, and hopefully we can get something back from that, and maybe it's promoting the sport as well, you know. We've had coaches coming down, helping them out in the past, just giving them pointers, so that's a really good thing.
And the leagues and the tournaments and stuff that you have here, is the numbers growing on that now?
They are, in the sense that over the past few years, the local federation have really done a lot to bring in the kids, and the youth and junior squads have sort of doubled in the past, 5 to 6 years probably. They've also been quite proactive in creating new events, more so for the intermediate level bowlers, including even the Special Olympics squad. So they can now take part in regular tournaments and regular 10-pin bowlers as well. So we've seen, in that respect, yes, we've seen the tournament on a local scale, the tournament scene really improve. And it's fantastic, obviously, to have more and more kids coming through.
Yeah. Is St Julian's the biggest area for the tourist side of it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
By far.
It's extremely central. St Julian's is right next to Sliema.
Not too far from Valletta.
We've got 2 or 3 nice beaches around here. Valletta is just quite a short bus ride away. Nothing's too far away from me, you know. But
yeah, true.
It is the main centre for, as you know, for restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and all of the stuff which are related to that. Hotels, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you have the St Paul's area up in Bujibba and St Paul's Bay, which is quite popular.
Have they got a centre up there? How many centres?
Bowling centre? No, there's actually on the islands there are 3. Obviously, there's this one, which is the only proper bowling centre, to put it that way. Then we've got 4 lanes up in a place called the Seabank Hotel in Melilla, and there's also 4 lanes up in Gozo.
Yeah, you mentioned that the other day. Yeah. Are they string machines in both those?
No, they're not string machines. They're regular machines. I'm not quite sure which machine they put in there. I believe the one in Melilla, the Seabank, used the Chinese VR machines.
All right.
And they had loads of problems with those at the beginning. And now, if they got that sorted out eventually or not, I don't really know. I haven't heard any reports. They're actually been in.
Is Malta big enough to have another? Anywhere?
If there had to be another one, it would need to be in a position very similar to ours.
Yeah.
To get people in, because the tourists, they obviously flock to these areas. So if you go for the tourist entry, that's what you want. You know how many hotels we have on our doorstep.
Yeah.
Now that brings in the issue of real estate, the price of building a bowling centre, which is a pretty big, expansive land.
Yeah. When it could be a hotel instead.
Yeah, it could be a hotel instead, and it has to be in a top area.
Yeah.
There used to be, I'll tell you a story, there used to be a 4-lane centre down in the Marsa Sports Club, which is between here and the airport, and it's not where it was. There's not even any houses around there that are close, and it's definitely not a tourist area. As I said, it's the Marsa Sports Club, so there's a golf course there and other sporting facilities. And there was 4 lanes, and it was run by Paul Gray, who you've met. And he, bless him, he tried to get leagues going and everything. It was 8270 machines, and he had a good synthetic lanes. It was a good centre. And in order to get bowlers down from here, we've got a very small member base, obviously, it's a tiny place. In order to get bowlers down from here competing in his, I think it was a doubles league, played over 2 nights during the week, he would come up with his van. They would leave all of their balls out of the lockers near the entrance to the Super Bowl here. He would come up in his van, cart them all down to his centre, and bring them all back the next morning. Otherwise, nobody would bother carting their stuff down to play in his league.
And how far is it away from here? As the crow flies?
On a good day, from here, 20 minutes.
Oh, right.
On a good day,
so they won't even take their own balls 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah. I suppose that's the mentality of us being basically one centre island.
Yeah, and it's
people don't travel.
and it's probably better sticking that way, really. You know, the island's not that big anyway, and it's not.
No.
It's still not a massive spot after all these years. Do you get many tourists actually in the centre then?
Oh yeah.
They do
Yeah,
come in
yeah.
and have a game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
come in and
Like,
get-
for example, tomorrow it could be a bit cloudy and rainy tomorrow, and we're going to have to turn loads of people away because the weather makes a big difference to our business.
Yeah.
If people are here for a summer holiday and it's raining, they want to be doing something anyway. They don't want
Yeah.
to sit in the hotel room, you know.
They want to be
So they're
inside
going to fall
doing
through our
something.
doors.
Well, you kind of got everything, haven't you? Got the cinema in this place.
Yeah.
And, how did the ice skating do while it was there
Oh,
at Bay Street?
it was. No, it was over the road. It was in the arena. That was basically it fell on his backside. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. I don't think the Maltese were ready for it. I must say I didn't think very much of the design of the place because it was just like one huge ice box. Because in the bar and cafe area, there was no partition, no separation from the ice. So it was freezing.
Freezing in
if you're
there.
taking your kids and you don't want to skate, you're sitting in there trying to have a coffee or something and it's absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
And I think another mistake they made, I hope my boss doesn't mind me saying this, is that they made it just a bit smaller than competition size. So you're thinking, respect, where was the sense in that,
If you're going to turn it into a sport eventually, yeah.
I mean, they did have a couple of ice hockey games played over there. There's quite a big Maltese-Canadian society. So
All right.
ice hockey for them when they were back in Canada was quite popular. So there was actually a local team, and they tried to get foreign teams to come over and play them. And they had a semi famous ice dancer around at the time. She came over and put a display on that kind of
cool.
thing. But I mean, that's not going to get the Maltese skating. Really.
Have they not got into the Quasar and trampolines over here yet? That seems to be not so much Quasar now, that's kind of done and dusty, but these trampoline places seem to be growing
No, not
everywhere
yet.
now.
No, not yet. We've got somebody doing Quasar, we've got paintballing in a couple of places we've done, and there's karting and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But no, not a trampoline thing.
And the company doing well at the minute? Got a lot of businesses, Eden.
Well, yeah, they're always on the go. So they've just managed to get their Casino Malta open quite recently in the last few months. When was that open? It was open around about Christmas time, or just after. Just after Christmas time, that's right, yeah. So that's brilliant, and it's a gorgeous looking place. They're putting up the 2 new floors on the Intercontinental Hotel. 5-star, obviously, deluxe.
I'm going to say they look deluxe, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
slightly different to the lower end.
And they've also bought up the hotel on the end of next to the Intercontinental, and that's going to be by this time next year. Anybody interested in coming over for this tournament, we'll have a Holiday Inn Express there as well.
Ah,
That's
cool.
all part of the group, so
There's a lot of stuff
it's going to be
going
good.
on.
Yep. And actually, of course, they've got the radio station, Bay Radio, which is time and time again the most successful commercial station on the island.
How many radio stations is there on the island, though?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
There's a few dropped off. Basically, it was the market was opened up in the early 90s, and there was radio stations popping up all over the place. But quite a few of them were just fell by the wayside. But Bay Radio established themselves as the number one. A mix of English and Maltese for DJs and that kind of thing, So that was popular for everybody. Even the tourists tune into it as well. And they've just remained. They've worked their way to the top, and they've stayed there.
Yeah, we went.
So
Keith and I went up to the radio station a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
2 or
that's
3
right,
years
yeah.
ago. And it was
Yeah.
pretty cool, nice to see it.
Yeah.
I've never really seen a radio station.
yeah, and of course it's all digital now.
Yeah,
When we started it off,
I was spinning records. And
Yeah, I was involved in the setup, and it was all CDs back in the day. But now it's all digital.
all digital,
You get
yeah.
sent all of your tracks, through the internet, and that's it. Must make life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, I would have thought so. We've got some scores after 3. We're coming up to the end of game 4 now, but the 279 from Don Buckley put him to the top of the tree with 685. Gary Sykes drops to second with 678, despite having a 235. Jord van Weeren with a 227 third game gives him 668. Glenn Richardson in 4th with 648, and Dennis Machia with... It is Machia, isn't it? Machia with 6.46. Then going down, Hill Demonson in 6th, TV's Lee Chatfield in 7th, Moro Anastasi in 8th, Philip Gruppetto in 9th, and Richard Beck in 10th. So some half decent scores coming through now as people chase them places.
What time did they start? About 20 past 4, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, still a good pace.
Yeah, it looked like it were gonna go a little bit later today, but Dennis is actually on a 2.79 there. And it must be nice for Malta to have a couple of, well, there's a lot of kids coming through, but in particular Magro and Zureb Shrireb doing really well.
Yeah, well, she's taken the place by storm. I mean, Matthew's turning into a fantastic bowler as well, Matthew Magro. But Sarah, she's taken the place by storm. She is the new national champion at 14 years of age, which is just incredible. It's fantastic. And it was a thoroughly deserved win as well. She's obviously coached by Rick Vogelsang, who's Suabella's partner. And Suabella acts as her mentor and sort of semi-coach as well. And she's the one she looks up to. And to have beaten Sue
Yeah,
at the
meant
national
a lot to
championships,
her.
it was just something, it was out of this world really, and it was a thoroughly deserved victory.
Bless
as
her,
well.
was she crying? Did you get that far? She must have been emotional.
Well, yeah, it was more appearance actually, I think, were the
Really?
emotional ones, yeah, because she's just so cool when she's on the lanes and she's playing. And I was down on the last, basically the Nationals have played over 24 games straight. There's no finals, no direct confrontations, and I was down for the final night, final 8 games. And she was leading Sue after day 2. And we're all thinking, this is going to be Sue's night now. She's going to come back and get back those whatever pins there was that she was down. But then, lo and behold, Sarah started taking more pins off her. She was just
Held her own.
anything, cool as a cucumber on the lanes, and she just bossed it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, what I like about it though, they're actually travelling as well. They're getting over to England
Yeah.
and playing on the English scene, and making names for themselves. Actually
Playing-
winning
playing
over
very
there as well.
Yeah.
They did well in London International last year in the Norwich
Yeah.
event. They're
They
over there in a
always-
few weeks.
It's always a good bunch. They go across, and they always bring an armful of trophies back with them.
Yeah, for a tiny little island, making a name for yourself's a good thing.
Well, it's all about the guidance and the discipline, and when it comes to the kids, you're talking about Mark Spiteri, Liliana Said, and a couple of others who are helping out with them as well. But the dedication from the coaches, and it really is incredible dedication, is really showing and rubbing off on the kids. And
That's
they've
great.
had some fantastic comments, even when they've been across for the English events, from the organisers, just about how focused and disciplined our kids are as a group while they're across there.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've been to plenty of junior tournaments myself when I was a kid, and you ran riot most of the time.
Yeah, that was Neil Webb, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. It's just part of the crew, yeah, not just Webby. We were all a bit crazy when we were younger. A couple of frames away from the end of this 4th game. We'll get some scores for you very shortly. So no regrets coming to Malta then, Neil? It's giving you a good life?
Well, it has, and I built my life here, and I built my career here. So yeah, I mean, I moved over here when I was 21. I'm now 46, so basically, this is
Most of your life.
where I spent most of my life.
Do you consider yourself as much Maltese as English now?
Well, I'm always English.
Yeah, always going to be.
I did become Maltese. I can hold 2 passports, and I speak the language fluently, but I'm still English.
Yeah.
In the heart of hearts, it's always home. It's always brilliant to go back.
Do you ever see a day where you would return to England?
I'll never rule it out. Never rule it out.
I think it'd be hard to go from a hot place to England, where it's.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get a week or 2. But having said that, a nice fresh breeze on your face and a bit of rain. And
Well, I'll tell you what, having been here 25 years, it's something I've always said and I'll continue to say it. There is nothing, and I mean nothing nicer than a proper good English summer's day. Hand on heart, it's fantastic. I mean, not when you're stuck in the office.
no,
When you're out and about in a nice beer garden somewhere or down by the coast.
And how often do you get back to England?
We do okay. We do okay. I mean, more frequently in the past in the past year or so because of certain circumstances. But I tend to get over typically between two and three times a year, even if it's just for a short trip back to see the family, you know.
Yeah. And do they come over and stay with you? They get a free holiday sort of thing?
They do, yeah. Not so much, but yeah. One of my brothers was over 2 years ago. That was the last one.
Oh, your brother the spy, isn't it?
No,
or whatever he is.
No, I've got a spy and I've got a policeman.
Policeman.
The policeman was last year. And what are people going to think? I just called my brother a spy. And Mum used to come across quite a bit. At least once a year she would come over.
Yeah. Just about at the end of this game then. We'll give it 5 minutes. Oh, Mark Muscat going all right now. 2:09 in the 9th with the turkey working. I think the Maltese have just woke up in the last couple of games, chasing them spots. I think we need a few in the finals because the place erupts when you get the Maltese playing. I think if Magro makes it through or anything like that in the Desperado or Sarah.
It makes for a good day. Matthew had a good turbo game, but I think that's out of the window now.
Which juniors are kind of at the top at the minute? Obviously them two, but
yeah, Matthew.
Who's going to win the balls at this stage?
Well, at the moment you've got Matthew, I believe, is first. Kid called Sean Montanaro is in second at the moment, and Sarah Shreedup's third.
Ah, cool.
She's playing now, isn't she, Sarah? Yeah.
And she won an iPad last year, didn't she?
Yeah, before.
Yeah, before.
Shout out to Boltec there, Boltec UK.
Yeah, thanks Nick Kepi. Top guy is Nick Kepi, isn't he? You're coming over in September, October, I think, for the seniors.
No, he's not this year. He was over last October, but he hasn't managed coming this year.
He might be doing a European tour because he's getting inducted into UK Hall of Fame in August.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
he might do a European tour. You never know.
That was a pleasure to meet Nick. I never met him before, you see.
He's a big guy, isn't he? He's
yeah,
tall,
he's
super tall.
Only ever deal with the guys, Roger these days, obviously Roger Wicklow, via email. Never actually spoken to Roger Wicklow. It's always emails or Skype.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really good of them to come on board for sponsoring the kids' prizes.
5-7-10, lane 14. Who is it?
Oh, it's a Cypriot kid.
Cypriot kid.
Efripidis
Ah, Evripidis.
Haji Haralampus.
Say that again.
Efripidis Haji Haralampus.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah, we know.
I just call him Lampus. That was the worst thing we're doing live streaming in Cyprus, where you try and get the names and
they just make them up. When Haris Panayoti used to send me his player list, there'd be like 20 guys coming over and girls coming over the Open. I used to say, you're taking the mick here. You're just making these names up because you're going to wait for me to have to announce them before the squad starts. You're just going to laugh at me.
Yeah.
Probably all called Bob Smith or something like that.
Bob Smith, yeah. It's easy when it's Costas, but
Yeah.
2:47 for Muscat, 2:09 for Gary Sykes. Kenneth Harper's going to finish with about a 2:08 if he strikes out. 2:26 down there for Ryan Lakey. 193 for TV's Lee Chatfield. We're almost at the end of qualifying now. The hard grind for a lot of the players is nearly over.
Hard grind for the tournament director as well.
Yeah.
Balancing the books, re-entries, turbos.
You've done well to keep most of your head over all these years and pulling it out. Of all the years that you had, which one kind of sticks in the memory and for what reason?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going to say 2003 because me, the idiot that I am, I decided to do the presentation party up on the roof of the Intercontinental Hotel, which was newly opened. And they got a gorgeous big pool over there. And me being the idiot that I am and naive, never dreamt that I'd be thrown in the pool. Never occurred to me.
That they'd do it, yeah.
And sure enough, a bunch of Swedes threw me in the pool. And then, and that was obviously on the Sunday. On the Saturday night, leaving him, this was when we had a different format tournament. We were late every night. Like Friday night, we'd leave here at 4 o'clock in the morning, back again 8 the next morning, and Saturday night we left probably around 1:30, something like that. And driving home down the regional road there, and a guy pulled out in front of me. This was the Saturday night before the Sunday presentation, the final day. Guy pulled out in front of me and basically sent me into the central reservation, where I tried to swerve to avoid him, and I did avoid him, but then I flew back across the road and wrecked my car in the side wall there before the tunnels.
Wow.
So I didn't get any sleep that night.
No, I can imagine. It's memorable for a lot of reasons.
That's when you say
Smashed your car and got thrown in pool.
yeah, when you say which one sticks out, I mean, not for the reasons you were expecting. That's
Yeah.
the one which sticks out for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
But I mean, the first time Van Damme won it, having tried so many times, you know. When Don Barrett won it, when the locals win it, like Suarez, which is what 2 times. That's always.
There's not been a Maltese male winner yet, has there?
There has, yeah, Steve Kaleya in.
Oh, he won it 3 times, didn't he?
No, he won it once, and I think it was 94.
94.
Yeah, it was 94. Steve Kaleya. He came from, didn't come from there. He was a regular bowler. He was a first division bowler, but he just played the blinder.
No, it was Stefan Ljungström that won it 3 times.
Won it 3 times.
Yeah.
Three times in 4 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good going. So it's been a while then since we've had a Maltese winner. We're long overdue.
Yeah.
I can imagine it'd be quite emotional for the Maltese to win it.
Well, Justin's doing well lately. He's national champion. And as you've seen, he's up there. He's 2nd place at the moment. So I would say that I think of all of those, you can't rule out his mum, Suabella, but of the guys who are up there, I think Justin would be the one to come through this year if it's going to be a Maltese guy.
Yeah, very possible.
Well, we're just mentioning Sue. I mean, Justin's good under pressure, but Sue Bella, when it comes to handling pressure, she's just, top draw. When it comes to a final,
Yeah, true. When she's on, she's on. She doesn't miss the pocket much.
Yeah.
If you've got any comments or questions for Neil Dent while we've got him, get them in. You're all a bit quiet on the chat at the moment. They must be enjoying the show too much.
Is there anybody watching?
Yeah, there's quite a few watching.
Good.
Let's have a look. Yeah, not a massive number, but enough when we're competing with the Euros. Got some scores for you now. Oh, Patrick Meeke, Dom, can you maybe send us a photo? Score update. We're at the pool now. I'm wondering what's going on in this squad since I'm hanging in 12th place. Right, will do, bud. I'll send that in a minute once we've give it live to the world. Don Buckley then, still leading with 9:05. The score's picking up a little bit now, but still around that 2:25, 2:26 mark. Dennis Machia, 9:04 in 2nd. Gary Sykes in 3rd, 8:87. Jord van Weeren with 8:81 in 4th. Moro Anastasi in 5th with 8:64. Glenn Richardson in 6th with 8:56. Hilda Munson 8:15 scratch, 8:47. TV's Lee Chatfield, a 2:09 average, 8:36. And Sarah Schwireb 8:32. And making up the top 10 at the moment, Mark Muscat with 8:31. Richard Beck in 12th, Mark Secker in 15th. For Suzanne out there wanting to know, Selwyn Morgan in 19th. And everybody else kind of just going through the motions now, I think. Probably already looking at Desperado and thinking, right, I'm going to play that. So let's take a quick photograph of this for, what am I going to do it with? I'll do it with the iPad in a minute. Oh yeah. You can do it, can't you?
Just get the top ones.
Denty sending it now. Few players by the pool just sweating on positions.
I'll send this to you, Dom.
Well, you can send it straight to Patrick if you want, if you've got him.
Yeah, I've got Patrick.
Patrick Micker. Back to the... There we go. And this will do blue. Neil is Webby there. He's in the house somewhere. Or he was. Oh yeah, he's down by 15 and 16 watching with Elko Gota. You want him?
Who's asking for Neil?
This will do blue.
This will do blue.
Which I don't actually know who that is.
Yeah, make yourself known.
But he comes over. He comes over for the seniors, I think. Yeah, who are you, This Will Do Blue? I'd like to put a name to the aliases. I used to be called Darth Munch. I just kind of, I grew out of that one. I turned to the light side. Excuse me. So if you just joined us, you're watching the 25th Malta Open live from the Eden Super Bowl. And media's changed in the 25 years then, hasn't it?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
From writing a few reports for World of Tenpin and to what it is now. What happened with the first few? Was it just basically sending it to Keith at World of Tenpin?
Well,
Any
it
reports?
wasn't Keith back in the day. It was another guy, an American chap who Keith took over for from the European reporting. I forgot his name now, but he was here a couple of times. Yeah, but we used to bring over quite a squad of international journalists, and more so than when we've of course joined the EBT. We were EBT from the very first tour. So
Yeah, we were asking about that earlier. You were right at the beginning,
from
yeah.
the very first one. So we would have those. Then of course, internet started taking hold. But connections weren't anything to write home about, so we had guys sharing one dial-up connection, try and get stuff sorted out, you know?
Yeah, I remember the dial-up days.
Nothing like we have now.
Hi to Nathan Glaive. Hello, hello, hello. And This Will Do Blue is Bill B.
Billy Bullock.
Billy Burke? What you say?
Bullock. Bill Bullock.
Bill Bullock.
If it is Billy Bullock, we basically managed to get Bill Bullock out of retirement. He came across a few years ago, played the seniors.
It sounds about right then.
Yeah. Then he hadn't made it through, and he came into the centre in the afternoon on the Saturday because it was raining. We were planning to go somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but they were planning to go somewhere just out for the day because they hadn't qualified. And it started to rain, so they just came in to watch the bowling. And then somebody mentioned to him that there was a desperado. And he said, "What's a desperado?" Never knew what a desperado was. Played it, qualified.
What, he hadn't played the qualifying score? Yeah,
No, he hadn't qualified from 12 games.
Right, yeah.
So he just happened to be sitting here, and this strange thing called desperado was mentioned to him, and he literally had never heard of it before. He didn't know what it was. And he said, "What's a desperado?" One game, 25 euros, blah blah blah. So he played it, and he went through.
What's the most you've had in a desperado? Because it's a nice little money spinner, isn't it? Well, it can be when a lot play it.
Must have been this one last year. I think we had something like 36 in there.
36. Yeah, so sizable amount of money into the pot, straight into the pot as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's something I think people need to do. I mean, there's no shame in it. First off, it's a lot of fun. You know.
Well, nobody seems to complain about it. It's not like, oh.
No. It's a load of fun, and everybody's running in between the lanes, seeing who's doing what. You know.
Yeah.
One thing we've never really had here, which people, other organisers mention, is that a lot of people just like throw an open frame or two opens or a spare and an open and just walk off the lanes. We've never had that.
No, they stick through till the end.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, you've paid €25. You may as well see it through,
Yeah, have a game.
even if you bowl crap.
Have a game.
You've already got yourself to blame, but you can have 2 opens and then shoot off the sheet.
When we first started doing it as well, we never used to give them any practice. So you're playing on one lane, you're not switching
On the burn.
Yeah, one lane, no dressing, and there was no practice. And I used to, just to avoid confusion, I used to announce it constantly during the day. There's going to be no practice. There's going to be no practice. There's going to be no practice. And we had one guy, brilliant guy from the Netherlands called Jerry Jan. He has me for about 3 years now. And he was in the Desperado. And again, I announced it about another 3 times as we fished the lanes on. They had no practice, and of course he started practicing. And he's picking off 10 pins, and he's picking off 7 pins, and he's going for the, and he was doing well. Then somebody told him after about 7 frames that there's no practice.
And that's your game.
I couldn't believe it. That was it. I couldn't believe it. I felt so sorry for him.
Yeah, is Bill B, and it's his only claim to fame there. Three frames into this 5th game, and Gary Sykes has gone the front 3. And it seems to be the pick of the scores. Have you got any questions for Neil? Now's your chance to ask him. It's not often we get Neil on the commentary, and I don't think we'll get him again.
I'm a bit of a hermit.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get him again. He's usually working that hard, running around like a.
You keep telling them
a blue-bummed fly. Yeah, thanks for that €20 for saying that. Yeah. Cheers. But yeah, we won't get him tomorrow because he'll be too busy. And modernisation of the centre, new seating over the last couple of years, and
yeah, we're improving slowly but surely. There's still a bit of
monitors.
work to be done. Yep, still a bit of work to be done.
If you had a wish list and the bosses were listening, what would you want?
Oh yeah, brand new control desk, brand new bar, refurb of the kitchen,
just a general.
Some lovely automatic bumper cushions and new cappings.
Bessex scoring.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be nice. Yeah, we're going for a cubic upgrade later in the year, but Bessex would be nice.
Yeah, I just went to Lincoln Bowl. I don't know if you saw the review a couple of weeks ago, and they were in the same position as you. Really, they were going to go for another upgrade, and then they just looked at Bessex and thought, you know what, we'll get it. And business is up. Doing really well with it at the moment. But yeah, I think bumpers here are the main thing for you before anything else, purely for the amount of kids you get.
Yeah, definitely.
You've still got them all ducting things.
Slowly but surely. I've just taken a big delivery from Boltec last week, and among that we've got 6 lanes with new bumpers and gutters, so we'll be installing those over the summer months.
Sweet.
So that's an improvement. Do some more next year. We've also been upgrading the old 8270 gearboxes and motors down there as well, with the new ones from Cubic AMF. I think I've got about 12 lanes done already, so we should be doing the rest of them as well.
Yeah, you got that difficulty in here as well, because there isn't that many centres or anything, that you can't really share parts.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's straight, got to bring it in
from. It has to come from UK, Netherlands.
Another word with Rob Thirlby, he's making parts now. He might do you a deal on whatever you need.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's making parts with Pat. Pat's set up a business together, and Rob's got all them years' experience as a technician. What we're looking up at. Oh, somebody just scored?
No, not yet. No.
Was it a penalty?
It's like a free kick.
Who's playing in that one? I can't see it from here.
Hungary and Iceland.
Hungary and?
Iceland.
Iceland?
Yeah.
All right. It's an interesting game, not?
Yeah. Very underwhelming.
Watch Iceland, they'll win it now or something.
Yeah, Iceland's, I think they've won it, haven't they? They've done well. They've won a match, I think.
Every chance then. And what do you think of England's What do you think of England's chances in the Euros?
Well, now that we've got that win, I'm a bit more upbeat about it, because I think we played very well against Russia and we were so unlucky. And we played okay the other day. But I think we need to be better. I think that the changes made during the game day before yesterday, that's what everybody's been saying. But only Hodgson wasn't getting it apparently.
Yeah.
You know, and of course when he brought Vardy on,
Boom, straight away.
other changes made all the difference. I mean, it wasn't particularly pretty goal.
That's not unusual for England, though, is it? They never actually go with the form players sometimes.
Yeah. But Vardy was there doing his job. He was just sniffing around in the box there.
Yeah.
The ball came to him and he put it in there.
Did his work, yeah.
That's what he has to do.
You've obviously been a Leeds fan now. I'm not a massive football fan.
Oh, you're a Leeds fan? Yeah, you don't like football at all.
What percentage of profits comes from food and drink compared to the bowling side in Eden, in the Super Bowl? Do you do better on the...
Well, the kitchen's rented out, third parties. And food and drink.
Well, yeah, you can't really class food. It's drink, really, then, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously the kitchen brings in extra revenue in the bar.
Yeah.
Naturally. And of course we do a lot of kids' parties, loads and loads of kids' parties, and that's always guaranteed bar revenue. But I think it's like, I mean, it's not something I check on a sort of ratio basis when it comes to bar and bowling. You're talking kind of high 20% comes from the bar.
Yeah, the business is the bowl, effectively.
Yeah.
And you've had some famous people in over the years.
Apart from Neil Webb, you mean?
Apart from Neil Webb, yeah. Oh, no, slightly more famous than Neil.
Yeah. A very, very good friend of mine, John Bon Jovi. He still gets in touch now and again.
Really?
He was in. Oh yeah, he loves me.
He gets in touch.
I gave him a lot of tips in his early days. You know. no, I'm just joking. Yeah, but we had him in. We had Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
When he was nobody. Harvey Keitel, Dino De Laurentiis, the late great. Dino
Is that when they've all been
De Laurentiis.
filming over here?
Yeah, they did the submarine film here, didn't they?
Ah, of course, U571 or something.
571. And then they held an all-night party, like a rap party over here one Sunday night. It was brilliant. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I bet.
And Mr. Bon Jovi put in an appearance.
Sweet.
So we got the obligatory picture of him, you know. I said, I've been buying your record since 1984. You owe me a picture. Matthew McConaughey was off his nut on booze. Didn't want us to close at about 5 o'clock in the morning. We just want to keep drinking.
Angelina
Jolie, yeah. We've had her in. She was in twice.
Did Brad come in with her, or we just heard in the...
No, he
was filming...
he had to go to work, didn't he?
What was that? Z?
It was
World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z.
Has anything filming on the island at the minute? Any big ones over the last year or so?
There always tends to be something going on, but the biggest one, which is just out now, I think, was that video game which they made into a film now.
Warcraft?
No,
World of Warcraft?
no, it came out a couple of months ago.
Oh, which one was that?
Oh, come on. It's like an adventure, oldie worldy video game thingy. They're up jumping on buildings and stuff. My kids will be shouting at me if that isn't.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh my God, I can't think.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, it's not out yet?
Is it not out yet?
No, it's coming out shortly, yeah, with Michael Fassbender.
That's the one, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, they did
Assassin's
some of that
Creed.
over here?
Yeah, I think loads of it was filmed here.
All right.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, really, though, because it's kind of those
Because
sort
of
of
the
buildings
old-
within the...
yeah,
the old
exactly,
buildings.
We also featured quite heavily in Game of Thrones.
Yeah?
And the first 2 or 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, they're all over the place. And Dina up in the Azure window and Gozo as well. All over the place, they were.
That's good, then.
And Jolie and Pitt, or Brangelina, were across last year doing one of her independent movies. I think it was a bit of a flop, actually. It was called By the Sea or something like that.
Right.
It didn't do much. But we had Forrest Gump. What the hell's he called again?
Oh, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. He was
Forrest Gump. He'll always be known as Forrest.
He was here doing the sea movie when they were hijacked.
Oh, yeah. Another one, the Somalian
Yeah, the
thing,
Somalian.
yeah.
You must excuse me, people. I'm so tired. These things, I'm just forgetting them. It was a massive film, and I think he's won an Oscar for it, hasn't he?
I don't know, to be honest.
And I just can't think of the name.
I think, no, that he didn't win the Oscar. I think one of the Somali actors played a Somali. I think he won an Oscar. And I hadn't actually seen it.
Based on a true story. Fantastic film. But that was
Captain somewhat or other, wasn't it?
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips, that's
That
it.
was all of the sea shots were done here off the coast, and we also have the massive water tank facilities down in Ranella.
Yeah, I remember seeing them when I went to see the fort.
At the time, so used for that. They've been used for quite a few things.
Yeah, and of course Gladiator was filmed over here as well, wasn't it?
Filmed here. Oliver Reed died here in the pub.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah.
Very famous pub in Valletta called The Pub. And it's full of memorabilia of Ollie Reed and what he had, and like cuttings of what he actually had to drink on that fateful day.
Yeah.
It was like
How big a list was that?
Just loads of stuff, double whiskies. I don't know how many pints of beer and everything. And he just keeled over in the pub.
Yeah, I suppose when you get the disease of drinking too much, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, when it takes over, that's for sure.
So a couple of frames away from the end of this fifth game. Any more questions for Neil?
Yeah, I'll be taking my leave in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's been good to have you on, Neil. Thank you for that.
Yeah, not a problem.
You've kept me straight for a bit. I should do it a bit more. We're getting a few more people on tomorrow because it's nice to bounce off somebody else. Otherwise, you're trying to get a bit bored, and it's better to let people see what's going on and then answer questions as they come in. Is there scope to extend this building at any point? Because we got a bit of a car park on top of there. There's room to take that up and do something with it, isn't there?
There's no plans. At the moment, we've got a bit of a sun farm on the roof at the moment. We've installed a whole load of PV panels up there.
I saw them from Bay Street last year, yeah.
I mean, we could do, because, I mean, right next door to us.
Oh, so you're getting free electricity from it then?
It goes into the groups. Yeah.
Bringing the bills down.
Yeah, that's right. But we could feasibly do it because, I mean, right next door to us we've got the cinemas, and they're a good, another 2 or 3 stories higher than we are. So it wouldn't be a problem for us if we needed to do something else on top of this place.
A few hotel rooms on top of the ball is just what we need.
Another 20 lanes.
And a lift. And, 40 lanes. Could you fill 40 lanes?
Nah, just joking. I don't think bowling centres upstairs are a good idea, are they? Either?
There's no crazy golf around here either, is there? There's probably scope for a crazy golf. Seems to do well for a while.
Yeah, we used to have way back. I'm talking pre-rollerblades.
Wow.
There was a roller rink on top of here. That's what it was before. Disco skating on a Sunday afternoon, something like that.
That could probably come back in a retro way. So Dom Buckley is at the 177 there, the current leader. So that's going to go on 279, 177. So that's going to open the door for Gary Sachs and Jord van Weering to step up, and there's still €100 at the end of the day to be won in this squad. Thanks again to the sponsors, Casino Malta, for that. And when does the planning start for next year's? It's usually pretty quick, isn't it?
Try and confirm the dates basically this week. So, I'm going for the same weekend again, which is, we're always typically the third Sunday, the third weekend in June. So that would take us to the weekend of 17th, 18th June next year. So, I mean, once the date's out and you start putting it out there, there's not an awful lot to be done apart from promotion. I mean, I can't imagine changing the format for next year. I like the format the way it is.
Nobody's asking for any changes,
no,
are they?
no. So, yeah, we'll just get it out there. Of course, these days you've got the Facebook pages and everyone works on emails and that kind of thing. So, there's not an awful lot to be done. Once people know what's happening and they're familiar with the tournament and they tell their friends, that's the best thing. I mean, people going and saying, oh, well, you know, we've had a fantastic time in Malta because of the beach and the boat trips and the bars and the restaurants.
Yeah.
And the bowling was good as well.
It starts with
That's
recommendations, doesn't it? And
exactly.
then it sells itself once you're here.
Exactly. I mean, we used to spend so much time, it doesn't take much time, but sending out loads of emails to bowling clubs and national federations and bowling centres, and you get nothing back.
Yeah.
You get nothing back.
There is
how many federations actively promote Opens abroad?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's an apathy in bowling as well that everybody wants everything, but they're not really willing to do anything for it.
Yeah. It's got to be, you know, you've got to target the bowlers themselves. That's what you've got to do.
And how has Facebook helped you in the last couple of years stay in touch with your people?
Well, it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's just a fantastic medium in that it's completely visual, you know. I've got people who only speak to me through Facebook. It's like
Never met. I've most of my friends list. You've never met them, but like good friends online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Basha Bonfield.
Yeah.
Never met the guy. He's always on there. And yeah, you just people say, listen. I had one this morning for the seniors. Roger Olofsson from Sweden, if he's listening. He sent me one in. Can I book for the seniors squad 2, 5 and 8? Or do you want me to send in the form? Well, I could have easily put him into 2, 5 and 8, but I thought, no, I've gone to the trouble of putting the form online. You're going to fill this form. But yeah, people just, that's what Facebook's about now. People, you know, I even know people who replaced their email accounts with Facebook. Just, you know, Messenger on there.
Yeah, everybody's sitting on that. I'm toying with the idea on the word with Simon about maybe streaming to Facebook tomorrow and not YouTube, because I just think everybody's on that now.
Yeah, and you still get the comments, but is the comments the same as having a chat on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so, because everybody's got a Facebook account. Not everybody's got a YouTube account.
So because I don't know.
We're not getting a lot of people chatting at the minute, and it's because they haven't got YouTube accounts. And it was kind of the same with Ustream as well, unless it said Ustream a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 1 type thing. But at least with Facebook, you've got a person behind that thing every time.
Yeah.
So I think it could work out well. But we'll see. It's maybe the wrong thing to do at this late stage, but if it's doable and it works, then...
Well, if you're going to do it, tomorrow's the day to do it.
Yeah. We can but try, really. Because, I mean, numbers have not been massive on YouTube this week for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to think if we go to Facebook, I think we'll jump into that.
That's exactly what I mean by tomorrow, because obviously tomorrow's the day to do because it's the last day. But tomorrow's the day when people will be tuning in,
and they'll be actually interested in it. Yeah.
If it's Facebook and it's Facebook friendly and the chat's there, why not?
I'll see what the guy's saying. We might do that. I'll be interested to see what it looks like. Alan Cross, go on, big Glenn. Oh, sorry, go on, Glenn, big Al watching. And Jason the Gate. Hello all. Hi Jason.
Yeah,
so
where's Jason?
Yeah, where is Jason?
He's been on to me all year asking about hotels and everything and transport, but he doesn't turn up.
Lightweight, some of them. Where's Chewy?
Chewy. Don't mention Chewy to me.
He was on this morning going, I'm good, I'm getting abuse from everybody.
He'll not be allowed in this centre ever again. Unless he brings a big gift.
A big gift, yeah. Yeah, you must get a few gifts each year. A few people bring you stuff.
Normally alcohol, yeah. Funnily enough.
Chocolates, alcohol.
Yeah, loads of chocolates.
I keep meaning, I'm going to get one for next year. Have you seen them electric guitar T-shirts?
No.
It
sounds interesting.
Looks like a guitar, and it's got like a...
You can play it.
What do they call them? Yeah, and you play it.
Well...
Yeah, I'll get you one next year and we'll bring it over and you can do a solo.
Yeah. That'll be good.
You love guitar music. Do you actually play the guitar?
Yeah, I used to. I started learning I was learning when I was a kid. 8, 9, 10 years old. 9, 10 years old. And of course 9, 10 years old. And of course I stopped after a couple of years. Biggest regret of my life.
You should have. You're not too old to crack on and
Well,
give it another go.
I did then, because then, you see, that was the days when I had this gorgeous classical guitar. Because that's what you learned, though. You didn't get electric guitars. And I was doing quite well, but it was the same with school. I'd never studied, so I never practiced really the guitar, unless it was the day before the lesson.
Yeah.
So I sold that and bought a BMX. And I was the first kid in New Biggin by the Sea, Northumberland, with a BMX.
Sweet. So your street cred went through the roof.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But as I say, biggest regret ever. I did pick it up again a good few years after. I was thinking about 20. And I was getting there. I was getting a bit better. Then just dropped it again.
You enjoy it more than you can be bothered playing it.
Yeah. Then again, probably approaching my midlife crisis, I saw an advert for a fantastic thing. It was a Fender Strat copy called an Ajax, and it was a USB guitar. It's a proper guitar. You could plug it to the amp and everything, and use it as a proper guitar. And you could also plug it into your computer with software and play it on the USB.
Cool.
So I got one of those as a Christmas present, midlife crisis. Started playing around with that, and I was just doing the same stuff I was doing like 20 years before.
Yeah.
And I was playing the same songs as I was 20 years before. And this is stuff for me,
I was the same. I started piano lessons when I was a kid, and I really wish I'd gone through and actually learnt it. It's nice to be able to create music.
Yeah. My eldest brother, actually, he's a fantastic keyboard player.
Yeah.
It really is brilliant. The Spy. That's the Spy. Right?
The Spy.
Yeah.
The policeman.
I mean, fantastic in that he could have made a career out of it.
Yeah.
For sure. He just had the ear for music.
Is he older or younger than you?
He's ancient. He's 50.
All right, so he would have been electro-poppy era when he was playing then.
He was in a couple of bands, but nothing you know.
No.
But then he stopped it for his career. So.
Just as well, really.
He could have made a career from it.
Right, so we're into the last game now. And Jason says he's over for the seniors with his dad. And he's very sorry he's not here.
Yeah, if he turns up.
We'll let you off, Jason. As long as you come in October.
Yeah, we're just kidding, Jason. All right, I'm off.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Neil.
Tom.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. And I hope everybody else did as well. We'll see you at the end of the tournament, where you can let your hair down and relax at last. Cheers, mate. I'm going to take a short break for 5 minutes and just go get a drink, bathroom break, and we'll be back for this last game. Getting exciting. Who's going to make it? Right then, Welcome back to the 25th Malta Open. We're halfway through this final game of qualifying, and we have a new leader in. No, we don't. That's a sheet from a different one, I think. Hang on. Or is it? Squad 15. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we have got a new leader, Maura Anastasi. As we're going strong now, 235, 258 last two games. It gives him 11.22, 224 average. Dennis Machia in second place with 11.05, and Jord van Weeren up into third with 10.95. Hilde Munson with 10.52 scratch, 10.92 in fourth. In fifth, Gary Seitz with 10.87. Don Buckley with 10.82 in sixth. In seventh, Jerry DeGraff 10.58, tied with TV's Lee Chatfield. In ninth, Kenneth Harper with 10.47, and Damir Branizak bringing up the top 10 with 10.39. And then lower still, Ryan Lakey, Glenn Richardson, Richard Beck, Sarah Schwireb, Euripides Lambus, Rankin Camilleri, Mark Muscat, Philip Gruppetta, Matt Secker down in 19th, Suzanne, 188, 202, 178, 244, 165, 977, 195 average at the minute. Mark York in 20th, Paul Gray 21st, Selwyn Morgan 22nd, and then Michael Krenz, Dan Balsam, Fred Pop, Ian Alexander, Sammy Bob, Beat Groila, Mika Gerler, Diego Giotto, and Moritz Wierak bringing up the rear. I've got just the Desperado to come straight, well, not much straight, like 5-10 minutes after the end of this block, when it's all done and dusted with the qualifying, and we know who's made it, and everyone else knows who's made it. You get a few play the Desperado and then realise they've already qualified in the list. So into the last few frames of qualifying in this 25th Malta Open. Players chasing positions. So he featured pair Mark Secker, Ian Alexander, Everybody's Lampus and Paul Gray. Mark York, Philip Gruppetta, Ryan Lakey and Selwyn Morgan. Secker on 103 in the 7th with a strike in the 8th. Yeah, so just sending a photo of the scores to Patrick Meeker, who's sweating by the pool, if he's still in or not. So a couple of frames away, and it's looking like Moro Anastasi, Dennis Machia, Jord van Weering, or Hilda Munson. It could even be Gary Sykes or Don Buckley, depending on how big the last game is. So let's have a quick walk down and see if we can discount. Yeah, so we're just seeking confirmation, but it looks like Mauro Anastasi's won the block with 13.73. I think Yord couldn't catch him. I'll double check so we don't give €100 to the wrong person. Right, so we're how's Glenn finished? Glenn Richardson. He was down in 12th after 5. We're just waiting for the game to come in. Hell's 10-17, 203 average he had over his first 5. But we're now joined by Mauro Anastasi, the squad winner. Let's just put you up there. Mauro, a squad winner at last. Congratulations. Yeah. Did you get what you wanted in the end? 13.73 is...
Yeah, it's enough.
Where does that put you roughly?
I had a 13.37 on one of the first 6, so that should put me top 12 for sure.
Well, let's start straight away by giving you your €100 promo ticket for the casino.
Cheers.
Yeah, turn that into big bucks. You can buy a house off that maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah.
How did you find the progression across the lanes?
I struggled the first 2 games. I couldn't carry a lot. Missed a couple of spares, but eventually across the house, then obviously I could carry a bit more. I was throwing much better. Obviously I changed the ball. I went with a better surface on the ball, so a bit more carrying.
What did you change to? Because you went 215, 203, 211. You kind of just been treading water, and then you went 235, 258. And
yeah, I was playing with the crooks, and then I got the lock, storm lock. But I had to change again to the crooks for the last game, middle of the last game, because I got a 6, I think, in the middle of the game, and I wanted a bit more comfort in my hand, obviously, when I threw the ball, and then obviously I struck out.
Are you playing reasonably well lately?
Yeah, not bad at the moment. I'm highest average in composite here locally, so I will travel to the Brussels team event in August, and we have a team event in Zurich as well in September. Lee Chatfield goes there, Cliff Dio goes there. So yeah, it's going to be busy this year.
And what would it mean to win this year on the 25th to you? What would it mean to a Maltese to actually win the event on the anniversary?
Yeah, it's a cool thing. 25th year.
There's not been a winner since 93 or something, 98 or something stupid like that.
I think Kenneth won.
No, Kenneth's never won it. No, it's I forget who Neil said it was.
saw one in
Yeah,
short.
but on the male side,
Um,
it's been a hell of a long time, and Neil told me who it was, but I can't remember who it was now. It's not anybody that
Brian
still plays.
Farrugia.
Yeah, might have
Brian
been.
Farrugia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might
He's
have
not
been.
bowling anymore.
No.
Yeah, so obviously it would be very, very nice to win it, but there's a pretty good challenge here, you know.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good players still to
Yeah,
beat. Yeah.
yeah. So it's going to be tough, but obviously we'll try every time.
You've come into this tournament a lot hotter sometimes, though. You've come in,
More aggressive.
more aggressive and ready for it, and
Yeah.
then you've failed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This year you've kind of
I'm calmer.
yeah
Since I have the kid now, he's growing.
calmed you down,
So he calmed me down, yes, a bit more.
keep you real, don't the kids?
Yeah. So he missed
He
the
looks
next-
like a handful as well, Luca.
He
Looks like a handful.
He is.
When it
So-
started questioning.
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah.
But you're enjoying your bowling
Yes, a lot.
more than ever.
A lot, yes.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. We're going to
Thank
see
you.
you in the final now. Hopefully, we're going to get a Maltese winner.
Thank you.
So good luck, and we'll see you
Cheers.
soon. Cheers,
Bye,
Mauro.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Right, so we'll just get confirmation of the scores. Thanks, Mauro. Well done. We'll just get some confirmation of the scores before we knock off, and then we've got the Desperado. Just check with the girl.
And the top four Desperados also qualified for the qualifying stages.